one of the very, very few people getting this message. We want to prove to the whole world that the impossible dream can happen.
You are it. You're it. Everybody's in. Okay, get in. Get your drink, relax, sit down. We're playing the WholEarth game one more day, and I just want to ask y'all, did you get what you need today? Did you have a place to sleep? Did you have clean water? Did you have food? Did you have something to eat today? Does that give you the energy to come here and listen to me? I appreciate that very much. And now we're going to help other people figure out a way to do this too. That's what we're trying to do here. We want to give it away to keep it. We don't want to keep it to ourselves. We want to share it with our friends and neighbors. I mean, the good news is that there's plenty on Earth. So we can start with that notion that what's going on is that love wins. We know this to be true. And now there's no fooling around. They cannot pull the wool over our eyes the way they used to do. Right? Everybody's seeing what they're seeing in front of their own eyes. When is enough enough? So that's the thing I want you to answer in the comment section. Whenever you're watching this thing, have you had enough of what is going on in the government today? Are you ready to do the next thing? Let us imagine, at least, in this hour, in this segment, we're going to talk about how we might be able to imagine this thing, turning around somehow. If you're watching this, then you're one of the, special people, okay? Because WholEarth has done something to attract your attention, perhaps. It's completely dedicated to Buckminster Fuller. Everything I'm going to tell you is just a retelling of a story that was retold to me. And then when I dug deeper, I found the origins of these stories, and that's what I'm kind of basing everything that's happening in the world today on the idea that we have plenty, and with the technology that is available to us, we can solve all the world's problems. Elon Musk can just as easily go ahead and say, you know what, I just did all this nasty business. I think everybody needs at least, maybe we take a chainsaw to, the Federal Reserve and we give everybody a check for $10,000 a month. In a story that I wrote with another time, it was a whole nother scenario about how Trump was giving the NASARA law enacted, and we were all going to a debt jubilee. And this would be something like $10,000 a month for the rest of your life. Now, what would happen if you actually got a check? Just forget, we don't need to be told what to do with the money, right? What would you do if if Elon Musk just gave everybody a check for $10,000 and said, stay home and we'll figure this thing out as we do, because we're really here to help the people, on the planet distribute the wealth, right? We're not here to take from you. We're here to distribute wealth. We're not here to be understand what the goal is of Putin, who wants to have a war. We don't need wars here. What's going on is you're seeing how Europe has actually learned from the lesson of their own demise. Do you want to know the details? I can't believe it. I put up the Brown Book of Hitler Terror for you all to look at, and no one has gone there. The Brown Book of Hitler Terror was written, by Lord Marley. Lord Marley, for God's sake. Who the fuck is Lord Marley? Sounds like something out of a Charles Dickens novel. Lord Marley was a bench barrister working in the government of England, and wrote the history of the fucking Hitler Terror. Okay, we were in the middle of a Trump Musk terror, and you don't even know because you didn't do the homework. It was out there for everyone to see, and no one picked up the book. Go through each chapter of that book, the Brown Book of Hitler Terror. Put it up again. Do a screenshot right now. Everybody do a screen save. Ready? If you're watching, no matter when you're watching this, put a screen save up here. Don't say you weren't warned. Okay? like everything else. So what we know to be true is that we were undercounted, like they're black and blue voters. Anybody young and anybody not white was probably not allowed to vote in the last election, particularly in the swing states. Do you understand that? Okay, this is a real fact. Okay, this is just like having a guy in the drainage pipe to make sure that Kennedy got shot in the head. Just in case, whether you had to do it or not, that'll be another story. Whether you actually, missed or hit the thing. We know that two people hit, and he was in triangulation mode. Okay, and there was all kinds of stuff. Whether Harvey Oswald was even there remains to be seen. Oh, here we are at the end of that whole surprise. So here we are. We're going to open it up. Are you ready? That's the thing, too. Remember, they're going to open up Jeffrey Epstein's thing. Remember that? Okay, so the first thing is Zelensky. So Zelensky goes to the White House. The White House completely reneges on everything, the other things, because these people are just completely brain dead and don't really want to do anything anyway. We have become Russian assets. We are literally, he is trading our wealth and all of our mineral wealth to Vladimir Putin, as a gift. Come on. It's true. Hey, Troy, how are you? This is the thing. So we have to go back over this thing. This is not happening. I mean, literally, you can't, if anybody can't see the emperor with no clothes at this point, when is enough? Okay. Does anybody have any shame? Can anybody see this thing? I know it's not just me. I mean, it's getting squat. Everybody's getting their toes crunched. Okay. What did I leave out? Anything else I left out today? Okay, well, Indian rights are back. Okay, we've got, Leonard Peltier got let go of the thing. That is a huge win. That is like white buffalo shit. Okay, that is big time. Good sign. The planets are lining up in such a way that we could easily just completely upend whatever. Everything's broken. It's just beyond recognition. Everything is fucked up beyond recognition. I don't recognize the country that I grew up in, and it's only been a month or two. It's going to be 2 months. We're into the second month of this ridiculous year, and really it's 2.5. I mean, it's that in the middle of a Trump terror. You can only see it if you recognize what the signs are. If you know how to look for a terror, most people can't see that they're in a terror when they're in the terror. It's only in hindsight that we're going to see what has been done to us. And you're just going to be those old days. We were never going to stop talking about those old days unless we can somehow grapple back what we had a few weeks ago and somehow be able to replace that with new and improved services. We need to rehire. I wonder what happened to that hashtag rehire US. Did we ever make any traction with that? I put out a hashtag. I don't know how to do this stuff, but I think there's a way you do hashtag, or I don't know. But anyway, rehire us is what the idea is, and that we need to rehire all these people back. Everyone who got laid off, show up to work. You're going to get 120% bonus. Okay, that's going to be, you're going to get a raise of 100. Like, you're going to get your old money back plus 20%, just because we are so sorry that we haven't paid you enough all these years. And then we're going to go back and we're going to put you we're going to give you reparations. We've got to give you everything that you lost plus 20%, right? So you have another signing bonus to come back and just go back and try to put back the stuff that you had going. First, everyone gets rehired with a bonus for 1 year. And then we start to go with a full accounting of all services from here on out. Start with a full accounting of the Department of Defense. What's the other one? What was the other, what are some of the other suspects? If you have it in the comment, let's see if you got some in the comment section. Yeah, so what about Bald Finder? No. What about if, I'll block you if you're trying to sell stuff here, like weird stuff like that. If you're not listening, if you're just trying to troll my people,
We have a bunch of comments on TikTok. So like one comment, so Sarah wants to know what you think about World War III. Are we on the brink of World War III? And
Okay,
Henry,
World War III for the entire time that Trump has been in office. That's World War III. Okay, it's called a civil. In this case, it's not. Well, it was a civil war that was being waged. Okay, in you, in us. I mean, the fact that we're red and blue and having this kind of like polarity. This is understanding the law of polarity. Are you familiar with Hermetic principles? Give me an up thumb if you are in the timestamp, if you know what Hermetic principles are. If you don't, give me a timestamp and don't give me a thumbs down because that's going to give me some bad mojo over there at YouTube land. But tell me I don't know. Just I don't know. What is that? What is that? 8
IDK.
IK. See, I don't even know. IDK, and I will explain it to you. But Hermetic principles are the laws that govern our universe, and we just stay with them because everything else is flawed. Okay, as far as I know, there's nothing that a human being will touch that they won't mess up. Human beings have every time we try to do something improving nature, it backfires on us. Have you noticed that? Okay, so we want to follow nature as our guide. We want to look at nature as our model. Nature is the thing that we look at. If we just follow and go along with the way, then we're going to be fine. If we keep fighting against the way, it's never going to work. Okay, it's just that simple, I think. So that's why we play the game. So housing, water, food, energy, and stuff to do. Stuff to do is helping other people get the stuff to do. Okay, so we want to use these 5 things. Don't get don't get lost in the sauce. Troy, place to stay. If you had a place, if you didn't, then we have to, I don't know. This is where we have to fill the slack. Our job is not done until everyone has a place to sleep tonight. But we have ways to do it. There's some blow up, houses that we can offer. There's some things that are really inexpensive. We need to find a way through the city councils to have a safe place to camp out and to get, services that we need. But right now we're under attack in all cases. So put this on the list of stuff you want to have as we move forward, right? We want to put the list of, we're going to have services for all people. We're going to have a place for all people to stay and live. Clean water is a priority. It's the number one element. Like that's a full-time job. If you need a place to stay and if you're working on cleaning water, you should have a place to stay. And if you're working on clean water, you should have a place to stay and you should be able to have food to eat. Can we just wrap this up into a bundle of, if we're providing and helping other people get these services of what they need to make this planet work for all things, then everyone should get what they need. If you're contributing, you should have what you need. If you want to kill yourself, I guess you should have what you need for that too. If you really want to go and take yourself down that path, we would like to advise you against it. There's something you're supposed to be doing here that we have no time to be fooling around with, taking yourself off the thing. We have work to do and we need all hands on deck. Are you with me? What do you think about that, Renee? You ready to work?
I'm definitely ready to work. We have another comment. We have Henrietta PA. She's just wondering if Republicans, I think Republicans are going to turn against Trump now that he's so glaringly, evil. Do you think Republicans are going to come around or is it going to stay tribal?
Everyone's the same. Okay. This idea of a Democrat or Republican, everybody needs the same 5 things. Am I right? Is that Henrietta?
Yeah, Henrietta.
Same 5 things, right? If you want to be Republican, you still got to eat tonight. Am I right? What do you think, Renee? If you're a Republican, do you want to have a place to sleep?
Yep, we're all the same.
Don't you get tired of being
Republican?
I mean, if you're Republican, you might get tired of being Republican.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe you're done. Yeah.
Okay, what about if you want to be Democrat? Do you think you get tired of being Democrat?
I think a lot of Democrats are weary of the current party. Yeah.
No. Okay. Everyone has to sleep. We're on a planet. It's a neural planet. It's a bipolar planet. There's like a bipolar, so it's got dark and light on it, right? Every day is a daylight cycle. There's nothing that gets out of that. Okay, there's nothing. Everything is regulated by this 12-hour daylight cycle. Am I right?
Yep,
On
absolutely.
right now on the moon,
Yep.
there's only one, right? It doesn't rotate, so there's only one side that's got sun and one side that's dark, right?
Yep.
Are you with me now? I mean, come on, am I just talking into myself here?
No, keep going.
So when you look at the whole thing, do you have that? What about the graphic of us spinning around the sun? Let's go back to that and remember what's really important.
Oh boy, I don't know if I still have that. That's been a while.
Oh, it's not been that long, but so you keep that handy because that's one of the ones that goes towards.
Okay. I'll see if I can find it in time.
But the point is that we are a small, tiny bit of nothing, going around the galaxy at 60. It's just important to remember that because I think it diminishes all of this strife, all of this like petty argument. It's like there's plenty on this planet for everyone who lives here. There's more than enough. Tell me you think there's more than enough. Tell me you think there's not enough, and tell me how. And wherever you live, we can make it happen. It's possible. Okay, the same technique that gives us to have plenty can provide all people can have plenty. And we can distribute the land differently so that people can move freely to go to the places that are available to grow food. Okay, food, water, energy, jobs. Those things will never change. That's my big ta-da moment. For me, it's so exciting because it's like carrying the baton in a race. I finally have that thing. All I had to do is spend as much time as I can telling as many people as possible what I just told you. And maybe you'll talk about this really weird guy that you just saw on YouTube and how everybody should come and tell everybody else to come for next week. And we'll talk about what happened last week. So Zelensky is coalescing all the tribes who are not going towards the nightmare of Nazi fascism are showing up to the rescue. And then you want to go back to make sure. I'm so fascinated making sure everybody gets credit, but Canada and the United States are both the result of the debate between the monarchs and the revolutionaries of France. The new emperor of France was, of course, Napoleon, and everyone hated Napoleon, but Napoleon was there for the people and liberating people all over Europe and crushing the monarchy. So now we're in the new monarchy has risen. This is what we're looking at. Is that the new monarchy is this new techno monarchy? Are you with me on this? Did you hear that, Renee?
I need to kind of know more about that. I might know what you're talking about, but I think I need more details.
Okay, well, what they're saying is that if you look at the front row of the inauguration, in front of the cabinet, which is not normally done. I mean, obviously they have no idea of decorum and never consulted anybody for any and if they did, they just said we're going to do it our way. This is such an affront. I mean, if you're a decorum person and you know how things are supposed to go and they have to go in a certain way, otherwise you're saying that it's not important anymore, which is what exactly we're being told. So the people, the technocrats, the people who were the big donors stood in front of the cabinet at the inauguration, or the cabinet choices. I mean, the ones that were supposedly penciled in, but they all got sworn in. Absolutely desperate people, completely desperate people got sworn in, and the pirates have taken over our country and are sailing our precious spaceship Earth, without a clue. No navigation, no understanding of how to take logistics, no understanding of how to take the inventory of what's really going on planet Earth, or the inventory of what the benefits, the cost benefit, nothing, not even the simplest cost benefit analysis before slashing everybody's, just creating a fear mongering thing. This is fear. When you put people out of work like this, you just create, and you come in with such violence. It's just such a a non-tactful thing to do, don't you think? I mean, this is like really bad. I mean, this is a bad way to set a precedent of how to get people, but very difficult to understand. But maybe not. Now it's very easy to see how this is black and white. You see the black and white on my face? That's exactly what we're dealing with here. The perfect picture. Take a couple screenshots. That's a great idea. A headshot? That's a good headshot. But so moving forward, what do we do next? Well, everything is broken, so now we get to build it again. Everything is broken, so now we get to build it again. So let's simplify it down to its smallest common denominator, right? This is what we do when we take a problem in mathematics. Are there any math people? Give me an up thumb if you're a math person watching this thing. Anytime, because this is going to go on way after I just, I make this video, it's going to be out there. And if you're seeing it anytime, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up on this thing so I could, get some more views or whatever the hell I need. Because I think, if it resonates with you, what I'm talking about. So
Chuck D said, yes, math, and Musk is selling the world to Russia.
That's right. Why does Musk want to sell? It's to make more. He's going to be a trillionaire soon, which is grotesque. I think the higher you go, the farther you go to fall down. Am I right?
Yeah, the greed. Well, you said how much is enough? When is enough enough? But it's also in the opposite direction with greed. When is it enough money for someone like Musk? He's continually trying to get more money, but he already has more money than he could ever fathom.
I don't know. I mean, even the highest. Okay, the thing is funny because we were talking about this the other night. Is like what they did with Napoleon is they left him to rot and die of natural causes on Alba. But other traders, they were never this kind to. So he somehow was able to escape the wrath of his people and maintain some type of legendary love affair with them. It's a love-hate relationship with Napoleon. So he's like definitely as despotic and as completely polarizing as what we are living in now. This is the last thing that I can look at to see like the most recent thing to look at as to where this might go in the future. So we want to look back so we can look forward, right? That's why we use history. So we're looking at Napoleon, and then ever since we've had world domination has come through the United States through its just might is right, and we are doing this thing, and we've stayed this kind of boogeyman for the right, boogeyman for the good. That's the company line, is that we're the boogeyman for the good. But today, what happened with Zelensky is that we turned into the boogeyman for the fucking boogeyman. And everybody saw it. And so now, like, you got the people from Europe really stepping up and saying, we do not want to repeat what we had in World War II in the bombings of all these great cities, because we're not down for this kind of thing. And I'm not quite sure. I mean, there was a right-wing election that happened in Germany, and these are, some kind of fascist Hitler dictator types too. Good Lord, have mercy. So we're going to see what happens in the next week. Okay, we're down to see some change happening. We're also coming up against again this like the idea that we're a dust speck in the middle of it, right, chasing a star that if it farts in the right direction is going to wipe us out. And I hope I am betting my money, all my money, on housing, water, food, energy, and something to do being the 5 things I'm going to do in the next life too. I'm going to do this in the next life too. I found my calling. And for me, okay, I'm in the Woodpecker clan, and what I do is I build houses for other things to live in. I mean, literally, when you're building a house, you're not building it just for yourself. You have all the other things coming in. You got to have some mice in the walls. You got to have some kind of thing underneath the house. It's just never going to be such a thing that you're not, somehow touching nature. Not to mention a mycelium crop or some kind of fungus that's just, working its way around the basement of your house or whatever it is, because it's just nature. Like life is like this, so we always are working with it, and understanding this kind of, connection to nature is really going to be the thing that keeps us for the next week.
Do we have
So-
time for another comment?
I got what? Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
so
I think I'm going to wrap it up though. After this, we're going to wrap it up, and we'll see you next time. But
okay, one more comment. Just Lena says, here in Poland, we fear for our lives. Germany is Nazi again.
in Poland, you fear for your lives. Germany is Nazi again. Germans love to beat up on Poles. I know it. I've seen it firsthand. I'm Helena, my friend. I so feel you. I'm empathetic. I can't help it. We still need those 5 things at the end of the day, right? Denmark, I have no idea. They still need 5 things. Everyone gets a place to sleep, and they get some food, clean water. See, the house, the water, the food gives you the energy you need to do something. Are you the hammer or are you the nail? And you can be both. I'll see you next time on this One Whole Earth. Sign up, come in. I'm not even sure how to do this. I'm going to get a QR code. I'll get a decent website pretty soon. You can link into that. Let's get together and think about, imagine one whole Earth. Plenty for everyone. No need for war, no need for money. There's no need for war or money. Everybody does what they do because they love what they do. What do you think of that? Tell me what you think in the comment section. Is it possible? I know I'm crazy. I know you're going to think I'm crazy. Troy, thank you so much. Big, thank you, brother. If I'm not alone, we're moving. Now we got stuff. Let's build. See you next week.
You're one of the very, very few people getting this message.